You have defined your goals. You know exactly where you want your business to go. But here is the truth. Without a technical plan, goals are merely good intentions. In this video, I'm giving you the exact framework that you can use to turn your vision into action. This is the exact framework that we use in our coaching to help entrepreneurs like you to build their businesses smarter and faster. Hello, my name is Kenneth Piri, and I help entrepreneurs like you build scalable, fundable, and profitable businesses. Welcome back to the Growth Roadmap series, where we are taking you through some of the coaching activities and the sessions that we do with the entrepreneurs that have come on board to help them grow their businesses faster, especially now in this tech-based work environment or business environment. Now, in the last video, we spoke about defining growth objectives. Now that you're done with this part, it's time to turn your strategy into execution. Now, this is the part now where you are moving your vision into something that is actionable, something that you are going to do to make sure that you achieve the set objectives that you already set in the previous stage. So basically, what you're saying is that you're moving from strategy to execution, and you're doing so with the tactical action plan. This is where vision meets implementation. Okay, perhaps you might be asking yourself this question: why is tactical planning significant? Now, one of the most important reasons for you to have a tactical plan is that without it, teams are usually confused. Now, you find that if you're working in a team, there is always the possibility of duplication of tasks. There's always the possibility of one person not knowing exactly what the other is doing. So, with that comes wastage of resources, and wastage means that forward momentum that you had stalls. Okay, so as a result, you don't achieve what you meant to achieve in the set given time. Number two, without action steps, progress stalls. Now, action steps are deliberate, intentional steps that need to be taken, for instance, in a project or in pursuing a particular goal, which actually maps up the route to achievement of that particular goal. So it tells you exactly what activities need to be done, when they need to be done, and so forth and so forth. Now, having such a framework ensures that you've got a momentum, and each and every time you reach that particular milestone, then you are focused already on the next one. So they are lined up in sequence in terms of priority or in terms of how one fits into the next one. The third one is that a technical planning brings clarity, it brings coordination, and it also brings a whole lot of other benefits such as accountability. Okay, now, if you have set your goals, now in the tactical plans, now clarity comes in terms of what activities must be done. There's no confusion where you find team members running back to the leader and trying to find out exactly what needs to be done in a particular set of events or circumstances. Everyone knows exactly what needs to be done. And again, because of activities that coordinate or contribute into each other, and then the team members or whoever is working on that particular project is able to prioritize a certain aspects or certain activities to ensure that all of them either are running concurrently or are running parallel, or they are running one after the other to ensure that that particular objective is achieved. Now, take for instance a river. Now, when a river flows from its source all the way to its mouth, what happens is that you've got tributaries down its particular main flow. These tributaries will add into the volume of the river. Okay, so as it moves, each tributary contributes something. With that contribution, the volume of the river increases, and as it goes through, it also is able to carry a lot of sediments, a lot of things, because now the power increases, the volume increases, and so therefore that river ends up reaching its particular destination. In this case, could be a mouth where it pours into the ocean or into the sea. So a business is like that. And if you're doing technical planning, you're saying that these activities uh, each pour into another, or each lead into the next step of the activity. In so doing, the organization becomes this massive river that flows to its particular destination. Yes, tactical planning, therefore, becomes this business, a war chest that you have, and it's got tools within it. It's got a particular uh, resources, got people, and so forth, all coming together to do certain tasks in particular time frames to ensure that the set objectives in that particular time frame are also achieved. Now let's look at the actual structure. I want us to break down the structure so that by the time we actually do some tactical plans together, we know exactly what to follow. Now, this is the framework that we usually put. The first and foremost, what you need to find in that particular tactical plan is strategic pillars. All right. Now, what I mean by strategic pillars is this: you must know exactly what you are implementing in, or what you are working on. You must be specific that this is the strategic pillar and we're going to be implementing in this particular pillar. All right. It could be maybe marketing. Okay. You are looking at activities that need to be done in your marketing strategy or in your marketing plan, or whatever it could be. The strategic pillar then becomes marketing and promotion, or the strategic pillar could be product development, a service or platform development, whatever the case might be. Now, this must be clearly spelled out and set out for everyone to understand. Now, moving on to the next item that you need to see there in that particular tactical plan would be specific initiatives. Now, under specific initiatives, what you are basically doing here is to break big, audacious goals into smaller projects or activities or tasks that must be done to ensure that you are moving along to reach that particular goal or to achieve whatever you have set in your strategic pillar. Okay, so you could have an example like maybe redesign a landing page. Okay, but you will see that this is not only done in a vacuum. There could have been another activity before that, which was maybe generate feedback on a user experience on the particular landing page or platform or whatever the case might be. So all these activities are smaller, each contributing to the achievement of the larger picture as far as organizational goals are concerned. So you are moving along, but you are doing so in small bite sizes so that you're not overwhelmed, so that you can gain that particular momentum that you need to gain, be confident as you achieve one after the other. And then this will make the work simpler, and you're working smarter to achieve your particular goal. And then you move on then to have a third component in your tactical planning. In this case, you need to spell out timelines, or what you would want to call time frames. We have already said in our strategic planning that when you develop growth objectives, you must develop goals using the SMART principles: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, as well as that T, which is for timelines or time frame. Now, in the time frame, you want to make sure that you specify when these tasks or projects are going to be completed. For instance, maybe improve user experience within 6 months, or develop a new platform within the next 3 weeks. So much so that when it comes to that deadline, you know exactly whether you achieved the objective or not. Now, leaving an execution without a time span, you could achieve it. Actually, it could take you 2 years to do that. But is this what will give you the growth and the momentum that you need? Certainly not. You find a lot of entrepreneurs here setting a goal without the time frame. Now, it makes them comfortable in the sense that eventually something that could have taken maybe 2 weeks, they did it in a year. All right, they did it, but if they had a timeline to do it, it would have meant that they would have done that, moved on to the next activity, because in the current tech age, is the people that have got speed that are going to reap the benefits in entrepreneurship. Now, without the prerequisite speed, you are achieving what you said to achieve, but other people are way ahead of you. Remember, this game is a competitive game. You are not operating in a vacuum. You are not the only entrepreneur in the market. You've got a lot of other competitors who are moving at lightning speed. Therefore, your speed must either match them or you must be faster than them. So this means that you have got timelines where certain activities need to be done. And when you're done with those, you move on to the next thing. Then the fourth one will be resources. Now, under resources, you are saying that for each and every task, project, activity that needs to be done, you need to apportion specific resources. Now, this could be inclusive of things such as a budget, people, tools, and so forth and so forth. These are all the resources that need to be taken into consideration or put into application for you to achieve the particular goal. So you could have, for instance, 100,000 plus 2 developers plus maybe you Canva design app for a specific project where you are designing graphics for a particular customer. Okay, so there you have already spelled out the money that is required, the people will be doing it, and the tools that you're going to use to do that. Now, in this case, it means that if you know who is supposed to be responsible for that activity, it also suggests that accountability is easy to track. You know exactly who are supposed to do what, when they were supposed to do it. And failure to do so, we can actually see where the weaker links are in that particular organization and maybe be able to make corrective action so that that growth initiative is achieved. And then the fifth one is milestones. Now under milestones, what you are basically saying is that you need always to come back after a certain period to come and see what has been done or to celebrate what has been done. Basically, what you're saying here is that you have set check-ins to come and review progress. Now, reviewing progress is significant, especially in your planning if you are going to do evaluation and control. Now, a lot of businesses do not review their progress. Now, failure to do so, it might seem as if you are really achieving your goal when you're not. If you review your progress, you are checking the ideal situation versus the real one. This is what you set out to do, and this is what you achieve. Then you are trying to reconcile the two when you're reviewing progress. And in doing so, you can either find out if you are ahead or behind, or you're actually where you're supposed to be. Now, finding that makes you a better planner, it makes you a better executor, it makes you better in controlling. Now, in the controlling aspect, this can only happen after evaluation. Once you have evaluated, then you can find out if there were any deviations to the ideal path. If not, then reinforce the current one, we move forward. If there are any deviations, then corrective action must be taken, and then you set on your growth path to the next step in your growth objectives. Now, let's just talk a little bit about how to prioritize your initiative. Now, what you need to do now in this part when you're prioritizing your initiatives, first and foremost, is to start with quick wins. Now, this is important to gain momentum. Now, a lot of people look at bigger things first and thinking that if they do those, then, this might give them that particular feeling that things are going well. However, in most cases, they will fail. Why? Because the bigger task will take longer and this could be exhausting. And then you find people dropping projects along the way. So start with smaller wins, smaller gains to give you momentum. They build on your confidence that exactly you're doing this. And taking activities in smaller bites and smaller pieces ensures that you are able to consolidate the small things to achieve the big one. Next one, you need to balance long-term foundational work with short-term growth moves. All right. So that at least some of these are running parallel to each other, because obviously the short-term growth moves are contributing to your long-term foundational work. So you need to make sure that there is a balance between the two. The third one is that you need to use the impact versus effort matrix to help you make smarter decisions. Now, the impact versus effort matrix, we're going to deal with it later. I'm going to probably follow up this video with a short video just to explain to you exactly what the impact versus effort matrix is all about. Please be on the lookout for that video. But basically, in brief, this is what we're saying. Especially now in the age of AI and AI agents, what a lot of entrepreneurs are doing is they're looking for greater impact, but with as minimum effort as possible. So you are evaluating and checking, okay, this particular effort that I'm making, what is the impact that it will have on the overall organization or on the achievement of this goal? Okay. So then this will help you choose the right kind of activities that need to be done in that particular time span. So if you're going for a low effort, minimum effort, and high impact, then these are most of the activities that a lot of entrepreneurs are being advised to do now. As long as there is that activity that you can put aside or that you can delegate to AI or to so forth to do, or build systems where most of this work is being done automatically by maybe an agent, do that, as long as it increases the impact on the organization. But most of these things will take you learning certain skills, and it is important that you continuously build, especially now in this tech and AI age. If you are not using AI by now, and maybe you are one of those people that are afraid that AI is taking over or it will take over and this and that, so because of that you are refraining from using it, I would advise that you change your mindset now when there's still time. It's true that a lot of people that are first adopters of AI and are quickly including it in their SOPs and so forth in their organizations are already seeing exponential growth and large results, conversions, and so forth. So I suggest that you try it out and find out for yourself whether this is a good fit. Try whichever LLMs are there and whatever bots you can find to make sure that you make your work lesser and lesser, but having more and more impact on your business and on your market. I think from this we can conclude and say that a tactical planning, it takes abstract goals and turn them into real results. Okay, so again, you need to remember that here we're not only creating or defining goals and then just sitting there and working so hard to achieve them. You need to build a machine, a system, SOPs and so forth that you can implement to make sure that you achieve your particular goals. Otherwise, be on the lookout for the next video where we are going to be talking about tools that you use in your tactical action planning, tools such as ClickUp and so forth and so forth. There are quite an array of tools, work breakdown structure, Gantt chart, and so forth. I'm going to break down some of these tools so that you can choose exactly which combination of tools you will use or which ones will best suit the organization and the projects that you are embarking on. So make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out when this video launches on this particular platform. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, share with your friends that are entrepreneurs and others that have got intention of becoming entrepreneurs in the future. Also, leave a comment down below. Tell us exactly how your technical planning is going. If you haven't doing so, tell us the reasons why you think maybe what you've been doing has been working, or if you want to adopt a certain uh, items that we spoke about, leave a comment and then we'll reach out to you and see how best to help you. Otherwise, this is results-oriented preparation where early preparation equals excellent results. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.